Between life and death, there is a library, and within that library, the shelves go on forever. This is the premise of The Midnight Library by Nhat, a therapeutic book to all of us who have ever wished to be something different than what we currently are. Nora will commit suicide. That's what we know as soon as we turn the first page of the book. To answer why that is, the author walked us through a day before she decided to go away. Did you picture yourself stuck in your hometown working in a shop? You know, when you were 14. What did you picture yourself as? At 14, a swimmer. So, what happened? Nora knew very well what had happened. Her life, as she recounted, was a series of missed opportunities and retreat. She could have become amazing things, but instead, she is stuck working for a shop in her hometown, which she describes as a conveyor of despair. But it doesn't matter as long as she still is something. Not a professional swimmer, but at least a salesperson at a local music shop. Not a wife, but at least a cat owner. Not a musician, but at least a part-time piano teacher to a kid. Except, she couldn't even be those things anymore on that fateful day. She couldn't even keep her cat alive. The old man next door doesn't even need her help anymore. She didn't even have money to give to the homeless man on the street. And as such, she believed she may not even be fit for this life. Between life and death, there is a library, and within that library, the shelves go on forever. Every book provides a chance to try another life you could have lived, to see how things would be different if you had made other choices. This is where Nora found herself after she decided to end it all. There lies endless books of green, except for one dark gray in color. It is, she was told, the source of all problems and the answers to them too. The Book of Regrets. To remove them, to undo choices, to live a life completely different from what we have now. Isn't that magical? Like characters from old fairy tales who stumbled upon a genie and got granted wishes, Nora plunged herself into the prospect of a different life. This is where I give you a riddle to solve. Why would a girl who had been given the chance to stay in any life that she wanted to decided to get back to her original life? Here's a hint. Just like all those wishes with genies, there's always a twist. Sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with the genie. Sometimes it's us, not understanding ourselves enough, not realizing what we need enough. I don't want to give it all away, but telling you what she has witnessed in all those lives. The only thing I can do is to give you a hint. It is quite a revelation to discover that the place you wanted to escape to is the exact same place you escaped from. As someone who has experienced the scourge of depression, Nhat managed to describe regret and despair in ways that we can relate to very well. It's like a sad song that we listen to on repeat for no other reasons other than to feel heard, to revel in our hurt. That yes, that's exactly how I feel. I picked up this book for no other reason than the promise of a magical library. Instead, what struck me was the despair of Nora, the bittersweet experience of different lives, and serious questions about myself that they provoked. If I can sum this book up in 3 words, it would be escape, possibilities, and finally, make peace. Escape, because it starts with a magical sci-fi concept of a library in nowhere, with books that send you into a completely different life, offering you a chance to run away from reality. Possibilities, because it gets you thinking about the infinite different lives you could have had and can have in the future. Make peace, because somehow, through escaping to a fantasy world, Nhat brought us back to our current life once more. These days, with social media playing an increasingly important role in our lives, it's easier than ever to compare ourselves to other people, to fill ourselves with negative thoughts full of regret. If I had done this, I would have been like that. That could have been me. The Midnight Library is not trying to convince us that our life is better than the life of a rock star, a successful businesswoman, or a wife with a loving family. What it does is giving us a chance to experience all those wonderful lives that we wish we could have had. Let us feel and conclude for ourselves. Maybe our life is not so bad after all.